Hi everyone, I'm going to introduce you to two knives that are the fruit of the imagination of the same designer, Johnathan Sibley. What I like about Kansept is the profusion of designers they call upon to design knives. On its website, Kansept traces Johnathan Sibley's career path. It's always interesting because a knife comes first and foremost from someone's mind, even when it's a model produced on an industrial scale. We learn that Mr. Sibley attended an art school where he was taught design, painting, sculpture, jewelry creation and illustration design. He then worked as a graphic designer, a bit like me sometimes in my business, and besides, video is also an artistic and creative work, even if it's not always obvious. He also worked as a designer, a programmer of numerically controlled machines, very useful in industrial cutlery, and more surprisingly as a luthier, manufacturing or repairing stringed musical instruments such as violins, guitars, etc. Then he made jewelry and furniture before embarking on the adventure of cutlery. A rich and diverse career that undoubtedly contributes to his inspiration. We also learn on the Kansept website that, and I quote, Johnathan Sibley now owns a knife shop called the Blade Bar in downtown Ben Wheeler, Texas. He makes hand-forged knives by day, under the name Jin Knives, and works on industrial knife designs by night. Like the two models we are going to discover, Johnathan had the opportunity to compete on the History Channel's Forged in Fire in 2018 and was a finalist on Season 5, Episode 10 of the show. So let's see these two knives designed by the Texan and produced by the Chinese brand. I had a crush on one of these two models that I will present to you second. The first of these knives is the Havorn, with a Nordic sound, I would even say Viking. But in fact Havorn is the Norwegian name for the white-tailed eagle, which is neither more nor less than the fourth largest eagle in the world. This raptor is also called the Great Sea Eagle. The Havorn comes in 5 models and I have chosen to present the most classic, gray in color. It is a fairly massive knife. We have an interesting design with a thick handle made of 6L4V titanium and a pink pattern carbon insert, with significant milling in the form of grooves on the handle and the pocket clip. It brings style and grip because this knife, despite its luxurious appearance, is designed to be a utility. The inside of the frame is hollowed out to obtain a significant weight gain. We have a long titanium back spacer that almost completely closes the top of the handle. The handle is particularly ergonomic, allows a secure grip. The blade announced as a clip point shape and flat grind, with a slight false edge on the back. This blade forms a point, the trajectory of the edge is almost straight. It has a stone-washed finish. There is a double opening system, flipper and front flipper. From a design point of view some will find this questionable, but those who like to play by varying the trigger possibilities will appreciate it. This system is rarely very intuitive. On the other hand, the flipper is still as simple. We have a good trigger. I assume that this is partly due to a pivot on ceramic ball bearings even if it is not mentioned in the technical sheet. The locking is ensured by a frame lock. The assembly precision of this knife is remarkable. The carbon insert is perfectly integrated into the titanium. I repeat that the Havorn is a fairly massive, robust folding knife. Its handle with its grooves is well worked, but it is another model of Johnathan Sibley that really seduced me. I inform you that by going through my affiliate link in the description window and with the code Knives and Steel 10 you will benefit from a 10% reduction on Kansept knives. We go from the eagle to the snake. Those who have studied zoology probably know that Echis is the Latin name for a type of snake in the viper family. The Echis knife is available in 6 variants with a smooth titanium handle, a frag pattern titanium, and 2 versions with a magnificent handle milling that would tend to make me think of Inca or Mayan patterns. And I find that from an aesthetic point of view it makes all the difference. It is quite unique and the knife is really beautiful. The pocket clip, also milled, fits perfectly into the handle. I really like the variations in curves that form the design of this knife, from its blade to its handle. Moreover, the edges of the handle are well chamfered, which refines its appearance and softens the grip. There are no sharp edges. Suffice it to say that with these patterns dug into the handle, grip is assured. On my version the handle is silver, but it exists in a light green metallic version. The blade is sheep foot shaped, with a stone-washed finish. The Echis has 3 opening systems. The easiest flipper, the thumb hole, here called the opening eye, and a very discreet front flipper. So needless to say that I find the opening eye super effective. To trigger with the thumb and with the middle finger in opposite position, but it is especially with the index finger that the triggering is super efficient. Really very pleasant. The handle is indeed well designed to allow easy access to the hole, which perfectly accommodates one of these fingers to exert a push, which is not always the case with some thumb holes. It's fun. The flipper plays its role perfectly, simple and effective. But then the front flipper is so small that I can't grip it, and I suppose that if you sweat a little or have wet hands it's even more complicated. We could have done without this front flipper, but its discretion does not particularly alter the style of the knife in the closed position. Finally, I suppose that the most skilled among you, who love to play, will manage to trigger the front flipper. A knife is generally used to cut, but it must be recognized that if we rely on the many videos on social networks, it is increasingly becoming a freestyle object, an anti-stress fidget. The handle of the Echis is therefore made of bead-blasted titanium, hollowed out on the inside to also lighten the knife. We have a beautiful titanium backspacer with grooves. The blade is, as for the previous model, made of the excellent American powder metallurgy steel, CPMS 35VN. This knife is sold for $169, but you can get a 10% discount, which makes it a pretty good price considering the jewel. Finally, as always, it's all a matter of taste, but I find this knife original. I like its style, it's functional. A beautiful, useful object, and I would really like brands to offer this style of design on handles more often. It's a beautiful machining, it's a change from the refined styles that are certainly very beautiful, but an artistic touch is very appreciable. That's it for these 2 knives. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon, and until then, take care.